Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop? Like no matter how hard you try, your thoughts keep racing, pulling you back into the past or pushing you into a future you can't control? Maybe you lie awake at night, exhausted but unable to rest, replaying conversations, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. It's overwhelming, and it quietly drains your energy every single day. But what if I told you that in just 5 minutes, this simple story could change the way you think, and maybe even bring you a sense of peace you've been searching for? Marco was just 24 years old, living in a quiet town surrounded by mountains. From the outside, his life looked completely normal. He had a place to stay, people around him, and nothing that seemed obviously wrong. But inside, it was a different story. Marco was constantly overthinking everything. His mind never seemed to rest. He would analyze the smallest details, question his past decisions, and imagine endless what-if scenarios about the future. People saw him as quiet, maybe even calm, but in reality, he was fighting a storm inside his own head, a storm no one else could see. Every night, Marco struggled to sleep. He would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying moments from his past, things he wished he had done differently, words he wished he could take back. And when his thoughts weren't stuck in the past, they rushed into the future, filling his mind with fear and uncertainty. What if I fail? What if things never get better? The questions never stopped. Day by day, the weight of these thoughts grew heavier, slowly taking away his peace, his energy, and even his ability to enjoy simple moments. He began to feel trapped inside his own mind, with no way out. And maybe, if you're being honest, you've felt this way too. Have you ever been like Marco? As time went on, Marco's mind felt less like a place of thought, and more like a storm he couldn't escape. Thoughts crashed into each other non-stop: regret, fear, doubt, louder and stronger every day. No matter how hard he tried to calm himself, the noise never faded. It followed him everywhere, from the moment he woke up to the moment he tried to fall asleep. Slowly, the things that once made him happy began to lose their meaning. Conversations felt empty. Laughter felt forced. Even quiet moments, which should have brought peace, only made the storm inside him louder. He felt stuck, like he was trapped in a loop he couldn't break. And the worst part was, he didn't know how to stop it. There was no clear solution, no obvious way out, just a growing sense that he was losing control of his own mind. One day, in the middle of all that confusion, Marco heard something that caught his attention. People in his town were talking about an old man who lived far away, high in the hills. They said he used to be a well-known psychologist in the city, someone who had helped many people find peace in their minds. But now, he had left everything behind and chosen a quiet life close to nature. Some believed he still shared his wisdom with those who came to seek it. At first, Marco wasn't sure what to think, but deep inside, something shifted, a small spark of hope. Maybe this was different. Maybe this was what he had been searching for all along. Without overthinking it, Marco made a decision. He would go find this man, no matter how far the journey would take him. The journey was longer and harder than Marco expected. Day after day, he walked through rough paths, climbed hills, and crossed unfamiliar places. His body grew tired, but his mind didn't make it any easier. Doubts started to creep in. What if this is a waste of time? What if nothing changes? There were moments when he wanted to turn back, to give up, and return to the life he already knew, even if that life was full of struggle. But something inside him kept pushing forward. Maybe it was hope, or maybe it was desperation. Either way, he continued. With every step, he carried not just his physical exhaustion, but also the weight of all the answers he had yet to find. And deep down, he wondered, would this journey finally bring him peace, or was he just chasing another illusion? After days of travel, Marco finally reached the quiet village in the hills. The air felt different there, calmer, slower, almost as if time itself had softened. In front of a small house covered in greenery, He saw the old man sitting still, eyes closed, completely at peace. There was something about him that felt grounding, something Marco hadn't felt in a long time. Standing there, Marco suddenly became aware of how restless he truly was. The contrast was undeniable. With a hesitant voice, he stepped forward and said, "Sir, my mind won't stop. I feel lost in my own thoughts. I just want peace. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, looked at him with quiet understanding, and gave a gentle smile as if he had been waiting for this moment. Instead of offering advice right away, the old man stood up and walked into his yard. He filled a glass with water, all the way to the very top, so full that even the smallest movement could make it spill. Handing it to Marco, he said calmly, "Walk to the edge of the village and come back, but don't spill a single drop." Marco was confused, but he nodded and accepted the task. As he stepped onto the narrow road, the world around him felt louder than ever. People were talking, shopkeepers calling out, dogs barking, footsteps rushing past him. Normally, all of this would have pulled his attention in every direction, but this time, it was different. Marco fixed his eyes on the glass. Step by step, slowly and carefully, he moved forward. Every movement mattered. Every breath felt intentional. The noise around him didn't disappear, but it no longer controlled him. The only thing that existed in that moment was the glass in his hands. When he finally returned, not a single drop had fallen. The old man looked at him and asked, "Tell me, did you notice the people on the street? Did you hear the noise around you?" Marco paused, then shook his head. "No, I didn't see or hear anything. I was only focused on the glass." The old man smiled softly and said, "That's the point." In that moment, something clicked inside Marco. For the first time, his mind felt clear, not because the world had become quiet, but because he had. He realized that when his attention stayed fully in the present, there was no room for fear, no space for regret, no endless chain of thoughts. The peace he had been searching for wasn't somewhere far away. It was right there, hidden in his ability to be present. And suddenly, everything made sense. As the sun began to set, Marco quietly thanked the old man and started his journey back home. But this time, something was different. The storm inside him had settled, not because his life had changed, but because he had. For the first time in a long while, he felt a sense of calm that came from within, not from anything outside. He understood now that peace isn't something you find somewhere else. It's something you create when you truly live in the present moment. And now, let me ask you right at this moment, are you truly here, or are you being pulled away by your thoughts? If this story touched you in any way, take a second to share it with someone who might need it too.